The Spirit of the Forest provides some nice passive damage all over the map, but which crosspath you should be going in BTD6 and Battles 2 is what we're covering today. To start, the 050 Spirit of the Forest grows 3 types of thorns all over the track. Within 50 units of the Druid, it grows the strongest thorns that deal 4 damage to normal balloons and 20 damage to ceramics and blimps. In between 50 and 100 units, the second strongest thorn type is grown, and they deal 3 damage to balloons and 15 to ceramics and up. And the thorns growing outside of 100 units do 2 damage to balloons and 10 damage to ceramics and above. Now, upon upgrading to the tier 5, these vines will instantly fill out the Druid's attack range and quickly expand to cover the entire track, dealing damage every 0.5 seconds to any balloon that touches them. On top of this, the Druid generates lives and money, but it works a little different in each game. In BTD 6, its active ability generates 25 lives and $240 with an additional $120 for every farm in its range, and at the end of every round it gives you an extra $1,000. But in Battles 2, its active generates a flat $750 and 25 lives, and then gives you an extra $3 grand at the end of every round. Clearly, this guy is not the best farmer considering his price tag, but he does generate a ton of lives, and that passive damage is very handy. Moving on to the 250, this gives the Spirit of the Forest +1 Pierce and allows all attacks to pop leads and frozen balloons. The odd thing is that in Battles 2, the 050 Druid's vines can already pop leads, but in BTD 6, this upgrade is needed for them to do so. Additionally, the Druid will now be able to shoot lightning bolts every 2.3 seconds that have 31 pierce and deal 2 damage. Now, both the pierce and lightning are pretty insignificant compared to the vines now being able to pop leads, but that can also be accomplished using a MIB. Compare this to the 052, which gives the Druid 10 extra range and the Heart of Vengeance upgrade. This passive buff gives the Druid an automatic 10% extra attack speed and adds an additional 1% attack speed buff for every life lost after this upgrade was purchased, but the buff caps out at plus 100% attack speed. This is slightly different in Battles 2 as it starts as a 20% attack speed bonus, but the rest is exactly the same. Now, this buff is nice, but the life generating ability of this guy makes it so all of your Druids will not fully benefit from this passive as they'll likely only gain lives. This does ruin the synergy of Pop Plus Druids, as it is common to lose a ton of lives on purpose to get them to attack faster. Now, this comparison is ridiculously close as neither crosspath is particularly good. On one hand, we have the ability to pop lead and frozen balloons, and the other we have some extra attack range and speed, but this attack speed doesn't affect vines or thorns. In BTD 6, I recommend the 250 Spirit of the Forest, as this will let you push off getting a Monkey Intelligence Bureau and get you that epic lightning attack. But in Battles 2, you can go either way with no judgment from me. I still recommend getting a 250 solely because the tier 4 upgrade is better as a 240, but like I said, the 052 is fine, and it will even get the thorns placed a little quicker. Some parting tips for this guy are to really focus on his placement, as the higher tier thorns do much more damage, so try to get him in the middle of the track. And another tip is that his damage is based off of time the balloons spend on the thorns. This means that slows like Super Glue and Icicle Impale combo very well with him, as it makes the blimps spend crazy amounts of time on the thorns.
Why do monkeys act differently across games, like Hbomb having 2 trees? Did they adapt over time, or are these completely different monkeys?
Big thanks to Boltrix for helping me figure all this out. I highly recommend watching his channel as he plays with all the tier 5 monkeys in Battles 2.